All right. Our first game was the post players. Second game was the guards, and tonight was the forwards. They kind of stole the show. We didn't shoot the ball very well. Our top four guards were 0 for 11 from three, but we still beat a team, Tulsa, by 27 points. So I don't know what that says, but we did rebound the ball very well. We had a plus 22 on the glass, and our bench was spectacular again with 52 to 20. So we'll take it.
You say you don't have a bench, though. I mean, that's kind of becoming more and more obvious that it's mix and match, finding people that on a given night and even a given stretch of 4 or 5 minutes are playing well together.
Yeah. A lot of guys do things well, different things well. And some guys defend better, some guys are better on the offensive end, some guys are better rebounders, some guys are better in transition, some guys are better in the half court. It's just it's difficult at times to have the right five out there, but by and large, with that kind of depth, that you're going to get 5 guys that are going to compete hard, and they're going to do what they can in all 3 phases of the game, on the offensive end, defensive end, and in transition, to help us win. And tonight I thought we were really good at pursuing the basketball, and other than guarding Burt a couple times and losing him, we were pretty good on the defensive end.
You said you wanted to give Marcus more minutes. Had team high tonight. Was that cognizant or just the way he played?
Well, I thought he was playing really well. It's just, again, go with the hot hand, and he was really good against the zone. He can score it inside, he can score it outside, and he's pretty good driving it, and he can look over the defense and pass it with his length. So, when you're effective, you're going to get more minutes. And he was very effective tonight.
On that note, Austin was the first one off the bench for Connor. Does he earn those minutes?
Well, he's been playing well, and there's a very little difference between some of these guys. That's the dilemma. There's not a huge separator between guys at one position. And Deshaun did not practice yesterday. He had a headache, so he didn't practice. And I thought Austin had practiced and was a little more aware. We were tweaking a few things that we did that are not normal on the defensive end, and he was able to practice and go through those things, and he was more cognizant of those things in practice yesterday. And then in shoot-around today, I asked a couple of guys about the tweaks, the special things that we were trying to do defensively, and Deshaun couldn't regurgitate them to me. So I just didn't feel like because he didn't practice, he was ready to go in. But, he's obviously still a huge part of what we do. I hope that headache doesn't come back.
You've had teams with depth here, and I'm sure it went through. But is this team unlike some of those because of what you just said, the fact that it's very hard to differentiate?
No, that was the way it was in 11 too. I thought we basically had 2 fives, 2 different five-man rotations, and we have at least that right now. Most teams, when a guy like Shaq Morris, he was dominant when he was in there in the first half, but then he gets 2 quick fouls, probably played 3 or 4 minutes maybe in the first half, and then the guards shoot 0 for 11. Most teams like that are going to struggle, but because of the depth, because we can turn to Rano and then Daryl and Eric and other guys at the 5, we were able to weather that.
Listening to you talk about Austin, it seems like his mental capacity is way higher than maybe some other freshmen are. How much does that have to do with his success and where he is? And like you've talked about him not practicing, but always listening and paying attention.
Well, I think basketball is really important to him, first of all. And secondly, at Cedar Ridge, he was well coached. He had a great run there of state championships. I think it was multiple state championships, definitely one as a senior. I went and watched him play. I was very impressed with their team. So he comes from a basketball family. His mom and dad were great players at Arkansas State. They're just, basketball's important to him. So, and he's a smart kid, and he listens, and he's a pleaser. So I mean, that's a good combination right there. And he's not the only one like that, but he certainly is like that for a freshman. He's constantly coming over to me. What defense do you want? Even before I can even think about it, we're shooting 2 free throws, and he wants to know so he can spread the word. And that's good stuff.
Daryl's been a guy who missed some practices, and you talked about, kind of being in and out. Has he really progressed here? Has things really started to come into focus for him lately?
What was it, the exhibition game where he was so bad? I mean, he had a very, very poor game. He probably had more turnovers than anything else, and he's gotten better every game. But he was really good on our tour in Canada too, so we know he's a talent. It's just a matter for him of doing all the phases of the game, defending, rebounding. Like one time tonight, I took him out. I told him, I said, the reason I'm taking you out is because you missed that dunk, and I could tell your mind was on nothing but missing that dunk. What could I have done differently? And you weren't ready to defend. Same thing happened in the first half. Something happened, and he, on the defensive end, on the very next possession, when it changed ends, he got a blow by. I think A2 or somebody just blew by him, and he wasn't ready to defend because he still carries that last play, if it was unsuccessful, in the back of his mind. He's got to get beyond that. He's got to have the mental toughness to let that go and get to the next play.
Has he gotten better with 2 hands going for
Yeah, I thought so. I thought he rebounded very well tonight. So did Kelly, and so did Marcus McDuffie.